Okay, my name is Caroline Watson Hogan. I go by Kara. Okay, so why I haven't been in class. I'm a klutz, so if you see me walk into things, just kind of laugh it off, because that's what I do. So I wasn't registered for the first two classes, so I wasn't here. And then I came, and the professor was out. I was like, okay, we sat here for 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure Sonia was here and a couple other people. Paige was here, Geronimo was here, a bunch of people were here. Sorry if I can't. Anyway, so, and then I got into a major car accident. I was driving down 495. It was, I think, a Thursday night, and the roads were slippery. And my car, my Jeep at the time, I have a brand new Jeep, which I'm so excited about. Anyway, back to my story. So my Jeep hydroplaned and flipped and rolled about 50 yards down the highway. I don't know if anybody's driven down 495 close to Holliston, Massachusetts. Well, as you're driving, the road 495 intersects with the Mass Pike, and I was about 50 meters back before the Mass Pike, and I made it all the way to the under the Mass Pike to the other side, right as the on-ramp was coming on. And I was not quite sure where I was by the time the ambulance arrived, and I was rushed to emergency intensive care. My poor father, being an adventurous businessman, was halfway across the world in Sydney, Australia, and got a phone call saying that his only daughter was in intensive care because of a car accident. Got on a plane that night and was there 24 hours later. I had surgery by then, and they had 2 vertebrae in my spine were replaced by steel plating. So now my spine isn't as flexible, but it's supportive. So anyway, I finally was supposed to return to school probably a week and a half after that, 2 weeks after that. I'm still in rehab, but I can at least move and think. And I got a phone call. I was actually on Quincy campus right by the library coming down from the car park. I got a phone call from my dad saying that his dad had had a heart attack and slammed his head into the same spot where my grandmother had passed away in July, on July 4th. So me being the closest member of the family who could depart in an orderly fashion, I got in the brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee that my father had bought me and drove promptly 5 hours north to Burlington, Vermont, to sit in a hospital for 3 days by myself before any of my other family members could be there. By the time my father arrived, again from a different part of the world, Geneva, Switzerland, my grandfather had already slipped into a coma. My father arrived, and I got to sleep in a real bed for the first night in probably 3 weeks. I slept in the same bed that my grandparents had shared for 55 years. So promptly within the next 2 days after that, 7 children and 23 grandchildren later, we were all sitting around my grandfather's bed when he passed away. The ironic part of the story is that he hit his head on the same corner that my grandmother did, was in the same hospital room, and ironically had the same doctor and the same nurses attend to him in emergency triage care. Promptly, a day later, we were all sitting around, reading, talking, chatting, visiting with one another, being supportive. My grandfather passed away. Never woke up from a coma. His brain hemorrhaged, and he had a stroke, and 10 minutes later, he had passed away. Now, mind you, a lot of you, I can see your faces, and you're kind of like, oh, this is like the worst story in the entire world, and I might cry. Please don't cry, because Granddad wouldn't want that. And he was a stubborn Irish man, and he would tell you, and I quote, "Go take a shot of good Irish whiskey and laugh it all off, because tomorrow I guarantee you you're going to be doing it all over again." And he would stand in front of you and he would look at each and every one of you and say, "Your grandparents are really proud."